Now let's bring in founder and executive director Live Abundantly, Dr. Ama, for more on the commemoration of the International Women's Day. Dr. Ama, congratulations. Everyone is talking about women today. Talk to us first about what you have chosen to challenge.
Well, thank you very much for having me. And we have chosen to challenge gender disparity, biases, and the stereotypes that are used against women and to suppress their participation in society on a social, cultural, economic, and political sphere. We believe that by challenging these stereotypes, that we can accelerate gender parity in society, and this will also make it possible for communities to thrive and for the economy to grow. It is very evident that the pandemic has been devastating globally within this country as well, but it has affected women at a disproportionate level because women have either have to lose their jobs, leave their jobs, or they are also working and having to take on extra responsibilities from childcare to homeschooling and all the various activities that encompass daily life for a family.
Indeed, in addition to the pandemic, Dr. Ama, this year's commemoration is coming at a time where Nigeria is battling with issues of banditry and kidnappings, and unfortunately school children are being affected. Let's talk about the implication of these on the girl child and indeed the woman folk.
Well, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because one of the segments of the population that's greatly affected is the children, but particularly the girl child. There are many girls that will never see the inside of a classroom again, because throughout this pandemic they've either been pulled out of school or learning of any sort to help the family, whether it's in the rural areas, whether it's in the cities. There has been tremendous impact on families during this time on a financial level. And then of course there's some girls who have been married off. So we live in a country where child brides is at an alarming rate. 23 million girls are married off every year, and probably growing now with this pandemic. Families see girls as a vehicle for improving their livelihood because they can bring funds through their marriages, but also because they can do that unpaid work. The unpaid work that girls and women do is not monetized, and what happens is that it gets devalued. But the reality is that it is unpaid work that has immense value for the community and for the family. And we know that a greater proportion of women and girls are doing that work. So it is important for us to close the gap at a very young age and have equity be the highlight of what we do for the children. We've got to have equity in terms of access to education, in terms of health, and on top of that, we need to address the instability in the country and the level of violence. Part of this celebration of women and the achievements of women, is also recognizing the level of violence that women have endured and girls have endured.
Absolutely.
So throughout the pandemic, I mean, we all know and we've seen the numbers that there's been a 30% increase in violence against women and girls because they're stuck at home with their abusers. And clearly there is this propensity for kidnapping girls more than boys, to be honest with you. But the reality is that there is no reason to kidnap boys or girls. But it is the girls that get adversely affected because they come back and many of the parents are already struggling.
Indeed, Dr. Ama, we'll keep the conversation on, but we have to end it here. You need to see how women were celebrated here at the TVC News. I mean, you will be proud. It's one of those days that men also want to be like women, and everyone here is also waiting for International Men's Day, where attention will also turn to men and the boy child. Dr. Ama is founder and executive director, Live Abundantly. Thank you for talking to us tonight.
Thank you very much and have a lovely evening.
You too. Now,